All glories to Amrita and Dhanvantari, the supreme divine healers. So, I just wanted to share a few thoughts with you on the nature of people who have certain, mostly long-standing problems, and when the perfect solutions are offered to them, which are not too hard, but they require some change, there is hardly anyone who is willing to pay that little price and make a rather substantial change. Instead, most of the people prefer to buy supplements, medications, or try all kinds of tricks to circumvent the necessary change. So, habituation, and the comfort that comes with it is very, very common, very strong. It may have to do with the fact that we are eternal in nature and we want to create some permanence within the impermanence of this world. But that doesn't suit the place we are in, the temporary and changing nature of this world. And all our concepts, be it spiritual, mental, or physical, that we have regarding how to live, they are only adaptations according to a certain level of understanding and flexibility, or effectivity is the measurement of truth. So if something doesn't work, it does not show proper use of intelligence to stick to it and try to find some way of tweaking it and making it work, but rather to ask yourself, do I want to treat symptoms? Do I want to cheat myself? Or do I want to actually find the cause? Where am I not aligned with the laws, the actual nature, how it is supposed to be? Like one funny example. People cannot even face the fact that every species has a species-specific nutrition. You can look at that through the anatomy very clearly. You can see the type of teeth, the strength of the digestive acids in the stomach, the length of the intestines, the claws or the hands, the nails. So many things that determine what is the suitable nutrition for that type of body. There are some main categories that most of you may know. But when it comes to human beings, hardly anyone knows in what category the human body comes. And if they know, they still have this crooked intelligence to claim, well, the human being is an exception. Yeah, it's an exception that he has the abilities to make the exception and to choose sickness over health because of convenience, because of social reasons, because of mental reasons. So, I mean, I'm just indicating here, I'm not saying directly what it is, but that's just characterizing the phenomenon that we think we can cheat nature. And we can invent something new and we can make it better than nature. That is the problem. But hardly anyone is willing to pay the price, you know, to step out of the convention, what the society thinks and accepts. And they're so programmed, you know. How can you eat that way? And then, where will you get your protein? And so many misconceptions, full of misconceptions. Just look at nature. What is our body type, anatomy, etc.? And what do those animals who have the most similar body type eat? How do they eat? And take some lessons from there. And you will see. But no, we have to cook food, we have to take dairy products. Very funny idea, dairy products. There is no animal that takes dairy products after their infancy. But for humans, of course, that's different. Of course, humans can do it. And if, the big if, you were able to get freshly milked raw milk just after the milking process from the most well-treated cows, then it could be some benefit there. But the possibility of that is so rare that you can discard the complete notion of dairy products. Anyway, I'm just, you know, hinting at some things, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I just gave that example of nutrition because that's such an obvious one. But there are so many other examples where we're so used to our habituation, and even if we're doing so bad, we're having so many problems, there is such a resistance to change. And I mentioned it briefly before, the kahunas from Hawaii, they have I think 7 main laws that they observed in nature. And one of them says that effectiveness is the measurement of truth. And that hints at flexibility or adaptability. So if something doesn't work, then we have to find another way. And the conclusion of that saying is, there's always another way. So, yeah, let that be the thought of the day, and embrace with love those parts which are resisting the change. Don't force any change. I'm not saying that. I have empathy for that condition, but we need some honesty in looking at it, and that's only possible by applying the neutral observer position that we are. The consciousness is observing the gross body, the energetic body, the mental body, the intelligence body, the causal body, and all the subtle realms as well. So when we observe all these realms from the self with love and affection, and dealing with all those different levels of bodies and energies with respect, not with a exploiting tendency and not with a rejecting tendency, which doesn't befit us because it doesn't belong to us, and that wouldn't be love, that wouldn't be our nature. So if we observe from self with love and affection and care, then possible change may occur. So may the Om Love be with you. Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Thanks for tuning in. And let me remind you, in the description I will post some links to our web shop of ebook publications, our t-shirts, and our PayPal, so you can support our soul services. Also, please consider to subscribe, and if you like the content, for the benefit of all, please share the video, etc., etc. So thank you very much. Jai Shri Radhe.